Africa Prime, brought to you by Jamison's Select Reserve.
Welcome back to this special edition of Africa Prime. The lady in the picture is indeed Oprah Winfrey, and she is talking to us tonight about where she's been, what she's done, and more importantly, the work that she's been doing around her school in South Africa. But Oprah, when I was thinking after we took the first break, I was thinking, so where do I begin? Do I begin about the Oprah Winfrey Network? Do I begin about the latest gossip? Do I begin about the work that you're doing? And then I thought, no. Actually, let's talk about what inspired you to rise from the, some people would call it the dead, because where you were right, as we call it in Africa, in the sticks. What inspired you? What gave you that strength and belief to step up and deliver?
I would have to say, Godfrey, that I was raised religiously, but I had a deep belief in God. And I feel that no human being makes it alone. You just can't.
Sure.
You cannot make it alone. You have to believe in something or have someone believe in you.
Sure.
In order for you to have a foundation to even know yourself. You have to have something to reflect against, to even begin to come to understand yourself as a human being. So I grew up with a grandmother,
right,
raising myself,
Hetime.
yeah, raising me this exact same way I see girls here being raised. I mean, the only difference was it was Mississippi, it was not KwaZulu-Natal.
Sure.
Right. It was not a rendezvous. It was a, shotgun house with a couple of rooms. I slept in the bed with my grandmother, raised by my grandmother, that whole story. I won't even tell you that
Sure.
thing. Grew up poor, no running water, the whole thing. Which was very familiar to me when I walked through the villages of Africa.
You saw it all over
and
again.
Saw it all over again. I thought,
Sure.
okay, that looks familiar to me.
Sure.
But my grandmother instilled in me this belief in God. She was prayerful, she was religious. And I wanted to know this God. I wanted to know, what is this God? So as a kid, I was always told God was my father. He is your father, he is your heavenly father. And I didn't know my father. I'd never met my father until I was, I think I met him, but don't remember him until I was 8 years old,
right,
when I was sent to live with him. So up until I was 8 years old, the only father I knew was God. I believed what I was told. And I would sit in the service, like second pew, every Sunday, listening to the minister like he was feeding my soul. And I would take it all in. And I would go, oh, God is my father. Oh, through God, I can do all things. Jesus Christ is my brother. God is...
So personalized.
I personalized God for myself. I had a personal relationship. I felt very much connected to that. And so believing that I could do all things,
Sure.
I never believed, that's what I believed. So when other people told me what I couldn't do, what I couldn't be, what wasn't possible because I was a colored girl
Yeah.
in Mississippi,
Yeah.
I didn't believe that.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because God is my daddy.
Right.
And so having that as a fundamental core belief that there is a power greater than myself,
Right.
and that if I will align with that power, the energy of that,
Sure.
that I can do and I can be anything. That is my fundamental core belief. Now, I think Acts 17, don't know the verse, maybe 42 or 27. In God,
help you.
In God, I move and breathe and have my being. That is my favorite Bible verse. And when I am afraid, when I am nervous, when I am challenged, when I feel defeated, when I feel overwhelmed, when I feel stressed, I repeat that to myself. In God, I move and breathe and have my being.
I hope that's a message that the girls will engrave in their hearts and take to their soul, to their core being.
Boys can listen to it too.
Boys can listen to it.
Yeah.
Okay, boys can listen.
Boys can too.
Having grown up as a colored girl,
yeah,
and then gone through
well,
all
colored
these
means something
schools.
different to us than it
Sure.
does to y'all here.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah.
I hear you.
Because I don't look colored.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you live?
I don't look colored. Like in South Africa, there are colored people
That's
and they're
true.
not. No,
That's true.
yeah.
Having grown up in such difficult circumstances, how did you transcend color? How did you stay part of it?
You know what, the gift for me was that I was raised in apartheid USA, because that's what the South was at the time. But I was too young to know it. And I moved from there and never went to a segregated school. It is the gift of my life that I was never put in a school with white teachers who felt that I was inferior. I've never, from the first day I went to school, I was in a classroom. By the time I was, 6 years old, didn't go to school until I was 6 years old because I was living with my grandmother at that time.
Sure.
But she had taught me how to read the Bible stories. So I went into the classroom knowing Nicodemus, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I could spell all of those words. I thought I was, I was preaching to my kindergarten teacher. So she was like, "Who is this girl?" So I was never placed in an environment where I was ever made to feel inferior. I always felt like I'm the smartest kid in this room. And because I was never placed never put in a position where I was made to feel less than,
sure,
I didn't grow up feeling less than, you know?
And the rest, as they say, is history.
And the rest, they say, is history. And it's all about what you believe. You know, yeah. I say this to, when I do something on my network now called Life Class, the fundamental key to success is what you believe is true for yourself. Not what you want, not what you desire. It's what do you believe? You know, you can say, I want to be the most successful person in the world. Yeah. But if you believe that there's a glass ceiling and you're going to have a hard time kicking through that glass ceiling, you will be defined by the glass ceiling. And the great beauty and gift of my life is that I was never defined by the box that other people tried to put me in. Why? Because God is my daddy.
Oprah, when I came here, people gave me a million questions to ask you, so I must try and get through as many of them as quickly as possible.
So I will answer them more quickly for you, okay? How's that?
Okay, I'll determine how quickly you answer them.
Okay.
Okay, so Oprah has come and become this phenomenon. Time has called you the most influential woman of the 21st century, and there have been many other pieces of recognition that have come through from different parts of the world.
Those are just words, but go ahead.
Let's get some more words. What inspired you?
What inspired me was, and continues to be, what continues to inspire me, is a primal and fundamental desire to fulfill the highest expression of myself as a human being. I don't want to die not having completely burnt out every single possibility of my humanity. I just want to, when I leave this planet, I want everybody to say, did that, used it all up, not another thing I could do. There wasn't another person I could have given of myself to. There wasn't another deed I could have done. There wasn't anything that you just want to, you want to say, I want to fill it up. You want to take this whole human existence, which when you think about it, Godfrey, is really pretty damn miraculous.
It is.
It is.
It is.
When you think about what it means to be a human being on the planet Earth right now, that's pretty awesome. So I just want to, I want to take that to the max. I want to say, no need to come back as a human. Angel status.
And the figures support it. When I was doing my research for this interview, I came across a statistic that said that you were among the 50 most generous people in the world.
Am I?
That's what the figures say.
Oh my God.
Do you feel so?
I don't know. I don't know what the rest of the world is doing. I have to tell you that. I feel that generosity is a part of my being. It's a part of my existence. It's a part, you know, when I was a kid on that dirt road in Mississippi, red dirt, I remember when, you know, because some people, for it'd be days and nobody would come by and see us, you know, because you're in rural Mississippi. And, you know, somebody comes down the road, it's like, somebody's coming down the road. Who's that coming down the road? And I, you know, so it was not often. There's like, there are no stores. So if you got a treat, you got an orange or you got a candy bar or something, it would be a really big deal.
Sure.
And I learned early on that A candy bar tastes better if you have somebody to share it with.
Sure.
It's just not as
Sure.
good if you have eaten the whole darn thing yourself and you couldn't say to somebody, want some? Sure is good. And that feeling of sharing an orange, a candy bar, my dolls, whatever. Yeah, everything. You think about this for a moment. There is nothing you can do or have or achieve or see or experience that isn't better if you have somebody to share it with.
So after 25 years, and I don't know how many thousands and thousands of people that walked through the doors of your studios that you spoke to, is there a favorite interview? Is there a biggest interview?
Actually, I did this at the end of my show. I did my favorite guest of all times. And that's hard to do out of literally thousands and thousands. They supposedly estimated that there's like 35,000 people I interviewed over the years. But there was one woman out of all the celebrities, out of all of the famous, non-famous, infamous people. One woman
Who
was she? Her name is Terai Trent. Listen to this story. I'm going to try to shorten it for you, Godfrey. Okay. Terai Trent, born and raised in a village in Zimbabwe. 11 years old, she's doing her brother's homework. She wants to go to school. Her father says, no, you're a girl.
You have to educate the boy first.
Yep, that's right.
That was the tradition.
That's right. The boy has to go to school. You can't go to school. So she starts doing her brother's homework. She does her brother's homework. He goes to school. He gets all A's on his homework, yet he doesn't know the answer to the question. The teacher comes to the village to say, what is going on here? This boy doesn't know the answers, but his homework's perfect. She finds out that Terai, his younger sister, is doing his homework. She begs the father to let Terai go to school. The father says, no, she can't go to school. Finally, he marries her off. She marries at 11 and a half years old. She gets married. She has 3 children by the time she's 18 years old. A woman comes to the village from an NGO, Heifer International, and asks, what are your dreams? This is going to make me cry. Finally, you're going to make me cry. Asks her, what are your dreams? This child has never thought about what her dreams were. She says, write down your dreams. She writes down her dreams on a piece of paper and she folds them in a tin can and she buries them under a rock. The first dream was to be able to go to a school in the United States of America and get a college degree. She ends up, through some miracle of the NGO, going to the United States. She gets a college degree.
Wow.
Yes, she gets a 4-year degree in 3 years. Terai Trent. She goes back to the rock in Zimbabwe. She writes her next goal on the piece of paper. She buries it under the rock. She writes, I want to get a master's degree. She goes back to the United States. She gets a master's degree. By this time, she now has 5 children. She's married to a man who still beats her. Incredible. She goes back to the United States. She gets her master's degree. After the master's degree, she goes back to the rock in Zimbabwe. She writes down her final goal is to get a doctorate degree. And last year, she became Dr. Terai Trent.
Where did you find it?
Where did I find it? I found her in the Nicholas Kristof's book called something the sky, underneath the sky or the sky. I found her in Nicholas Kristof's book.
Incredible. Incredible.
And I was reading the story. I had Nicholas Kristof on the show. Nicholas Kristof, the famous New York Times writer. And she wasn't there. She wasn't a part of the show. I'm reading the story. I can't believe this book, the story of this woman, as I'm reading the story. So when we go to do the show, the producers have Nicholas Kristof on. They bring on other guests, but this woman isn't there. I go, how could you not have her there? So we tape another show with Nicholas Kristof. We go back. I go, fine, we're going to find that woman, Terai Trent. By this time, she's living in the United States. We followed her back to Zimbabwe to the rock. We pulled the tin can from underneath the rock. And that is my favorite guest of all time.
And the worst?
I don't have a worst. I don't have a worst. But the reason why she, and as I said this on my show, the reason why Terai Trent is my favorite guest of all time is because she represents in that one story of the little girl in a village in Zimbabwe who had a dream and the heart and depth and discipline to pursue it. She represents everything I tried to say in every show in 25 years. She literally, through her life story, sums up the message that I was trying to give to every single one of my viewers. You can. You can. Keep trying. Don't give up.
You have to believe.
You have to believe.
The talk show has come and gone. Do you miss it?
No, I don't miss it.
No.
No, because I was really ready for it to go. You know, Godfrey, I thought around the 20-year mark, I started thinking about, was I really seriously going to bring it to a close? And I think if I'd ended it at the 20th year,
Yeah.
I would have had a lot
Like a
of...
round number.
Yeah, I believe in round numbers for everything. You know why? That's when I was growing up, my father wouldn't give me money unless his money was even. I'd say, Dad, I need $5. He'd go, can't do it, money not even. So I grew up with this whole money has to be even thing. So if things have to be in round numbers, if I'm on the treadmill, if it doesn't end on a round number, I'll stay until it does.
Keep going.
Keep going. So it's a crazy thing, okay? Sure. So there was no way I could end in 26 years or something like that. There's no way I could have done that.
Sure.
I think Donahue ended at 29. I was like, it would be impossible for me. I'd be like, I gotta go to 30. So I don't miss it because I was ready for it.
To end it.
I was ready to walk out of that arena and to step into another one.
This other world, the network, how is that doing?
It is doing, it is far more challenging than I imagined. It is doing, actually, when I came here, when was it, Sunday? I think we had done our highest rating on this new show that I'm doing that we'd done.
I wanted you quickly to talk about that as well.
Yeah, so you know, it is a gargantuan task, and all my friends who've done it, everybody I know who's done it, I won't call them, the word friend is a loose term, but Ted Turner, who started CNN, Barry Diller, who started the Fox network in the United States, other people who started the Comedy Network, all said to me, you have no idea, this is a gigantic thing you're taking on. You went from doing 1 hour a day to now trying to create 24 hours a day of content.
I know what you're talking about.
So it has been yet another learning curve for me. But the reason why I did it is that I wanted to maintain the platform for being able to expose people to programming that I felt was stimulating, was interesting, that opened the heart space for people. And so I didn't want to lose that. I didn't want to, you know, what I knew for sure, after owning my own show and making my own decisions all these years, is that I would rather try and fail than to be owned and controlled by somebody else's ideas and decisions about the work that I could do.
You have now started a new show, Oprah's Next Chapter.
Yeah.
What is it about? Very quickly.
Well, I don't know how to be quick, Godfrey.
Oprah, you used to be counted down. I'm being counted down now.
I'm used to being counted down to say, and we'll be right back. Okay, the new show is about me leaving the studio and going out and experiencing the world in a completely authentic way. Allowing myself to interview people that I really want to talk to, that I'm interested in their ideas, in their experiences. It is about opening up the world so that people can see through my interviews and my interactions and experiences that we are really all more alike than we are different. That's what basically it is. It's about me having a good time too, you know, because for so many years I was like tethered to the chair.
In Chicago.
In Chicago. And here comes another person with another CD.
Now, well, here is another opportunity to spend more time here in Africa because there are more stories to be told to the world than the whole world can tell Africa.
Yeah, there's a whole continent of stories.
Final question. Now, you endorsed Barack Obama when he ran for US president. And by some accounts, you delivered as much as 1 million votes to him. Would you endorse him again?
I don't need to do it again.
He doesn't need you?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that the moment for me to step up for Barack Obama, you know, I still am a big supporter, a fan, a believer in Barack Obama. But that was a moment that was needed then. I did that because even my own friends at the time didn't know who Barack Obama was. Now the world knows who Barack Obama is.
He doesn't need Oprah Winfrey.
He doesn't need me out there going, hello, Barack Obama. But no, am I a supporter of his? Yeah.